Parshas Vaschanan, we have a lot of Yesodus Emuna. Obviously, we have the giving the Luchas again and so on. And what we have is an elaboration of many things that we ought not to do and so on. And one of the psukim is Kishe'alna, the Yomim Rishonim Asher Lefanecha, ask about the days that had been before you. From the day that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam al Aretz, from one end of the heavens to the other end, was there ever anything like this or not? So the Gemara tells us in Chagiga, the Gemara says that if someone asks mala mata, mala fana mala ochar, is something that is prohibited, there are areas that are not permitted to ask about and to talk about. So Rabbi over here explains, and he says the following: we are given the right and ability and imperative to ask. In other words, querying, questioning, and things of that nature are part of what we're obligated to do. And the pasuk says, why don't you research and ask the people and so on and so forth? So on the one hand, the pasuk is telling us that the asking and the questioning are positive. But the pasuk says, Asher lefanecha lemin hayoim asher bar lekim. So the Rabbi says, no al delas hashe'ela. He closed the door of questioning. That we can only ask from Brias Ha'olam and onwards. Meaning, on the one hand, part of Emunah is that a person research, question, ask, inquire. Those are very, very powerful tools. Except it comes to a stop at a certain place. And that stop is Yomim HaRishayim and Miktzeh HaShamayim Atzeh HaShamayim. I want to elaborate a bit on Rabbi Chaya, because it's a very, very, very important point over here. I'd like to use something I once heard from Rabbi Chatzkel Levenstein. It says that the Umas Ha'olam are the nations of the world tease Klal Yisrael, they make fun of, they mock Klal Yisrael, and tell them you have all these mitzvahs that are senseless. And Paradum obviously is the one that stands out the sharpest. That's the hope per se, and that stands out as the sharpest example. So Lefikach Rashi says, the Torah said, Chuka, ein lecha reshus lahar b'hem. You do not have the right to inquire about it, to ponder it. So, yes, the obvious question. I can understand that we say do not think. Okay, that's what I should. But if you ask, engage, in other words, if it's telling us to engage in the discussion is fine, but tell them you're not allowed to ask the question. What does that mean? So why am I talking to the person? Well, what's the point of it? In Lechushus Lahar, what was that telling me? So he said that the human being is constructed to accomplish that which he was charged with accomplishing. So human beings are meant to know an awful lot and to be osek in Torah and questions and answers and all of that. And we were given a brain and intelligence commensurate to the task that we were assigned. So since HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to use our intellect to understand HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we were given incredible intellect. But The areas that we were not, in those areas that we were not told to use our intellect and to understand with our minds, then our brains do not fit that at all. It's like a human being is supposed to walk around, so he has feet that can run and jump and so on. He's not meant to fly. He has no wings. The querying and asking is something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us and charged us with it, but only within a certain framework, from the point of Brias Olam and onwards. Anything before that, you simply do not have a type of mind that can understand it. That mind it's like the mind trying to understand infinite. We do not have a mind that can understand the concept of infinite. And no matter how long you'll think about it and puzzle it and try to do work with it, it doesn't work. We just do not have it, period. So what we're answering, the Reb Chatzkel said, the Umas Olam, is because we have no Rishus Lahar, therefore we have no way of grasping it with our mind and so on. Now, going back to Rabbi Chai over here, anything our mind was given to comprehend an incredible amount, bound by Bereshis and onwards. Anything before Bereshis is not something that we have the ability to understand. Now, this means, on a practical level, the type of questions of why did Hashem make the world, that's a question that's before he made it. We can say for what purpose he made the world. That's something that starts from the point of creation to what does he want creation to lead to. That's a very important question. But what was it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted and needed is not a question that we have any ability to address. We just don't have that ability to address. The law, any asking that on the act of creation itself, vis-a-vis the laws of nature and all of those items are totally not. They're not within our ability to answer. It's not just that we do not have enough brain power; we do not have a brain that fits it. It's like saying, sometimes you have a small spoon. It's not effective at eating a large plate of soup. But a fork is simply not a tool for soup. It's not a question of how much or how little. The human brain is forged in a certain way that it was given the ability to understand, but only from a certain point onwards. So let's look at the pasuk again. Let's sum up the Rabbi Bechaya here. Sh'alna is an injunction. It's telling us that we have to ask. Asking is the spearhead of intelligence. When the intelligence starts with a question, I look at something and ask myself, what's causing it? How can that be when? What does it lead to? What does it mean? Every single thought process is spearheaded by a question. Maven davar mitoch davar. I'm not just simply amassing information. I am using a tool to divine point one from point two. I'm saying, if this is true here, how would it apply there? So sha'alna is an extraordinary command, which is the basis for all of Torah. But just as we're told that we have to use our intellect to its utmost, we also define where the parameters of where the intellect is effective. The intellect is effective from Minayom Asher Bar Elokim Adam Al Haaretz, from the point of creation of Adam. That's from that point onwards, I may and I ought to ask the questions. If it is also K'tzei Hashemayim. K'tzei Hashemayim, K'tzei Hashemayim means till the end of the human, to as far as the human reach goes. Anything that was given to us under in our framework belongs to us, and we can and should use inquiry to get to it. Anything that's outside of it, we simply, like we said from Hatzkel, we simply don't have any tool for understanding it. So, two most important points are actually expressed in this pasuk. One is the imperative and the commandment to ask and probe to the best of our abilities, and to recognize our boundaries of where that is limited in the sense that we can never, it's not only that we're not good enough to answer, we just simply do not have the tools to reach out our boundaries. A definition of boundaries and the command that within those boundaries to use our inquiry to its ultimate.